Yeah, I mean, what a day. I couldn't put it better myself, Alistair. It's been a really treacherous day. I think wherever you've been today, even if you've been trying to avoid the storm entirely, it's been very difficult to ignore its impact. We've seen pictures from west to east of the impact, really strong and gusty winds. In fact, out at sea today, winds reached violent storm force 11, so really treacherous. But let me give you some context about the type of wind speeds we saw inland as well and right across the north. As we heard earlier today in Northumberland, we saw wind speeds in Brisleywood of 96 miles per hour and still some really high numbers there. And even now we're seeing wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour. So the amber warning in place till 9 o'clock tonight, and then a further yellow weather warning for the winds in place until midnight. Here's our deep area of low pressure now beginning to clear away to the north and the east. So after midnight, things will quieten down somewhat. So largely dry overnight, just a risk of a few wintry showers, particularly over higher grounds. But with the clear skies, icy patches forming on untreated surfaces and a cold night with lows widely down to freezing. I'm glad to say that tomorrow looks like a much more settled day. We've got a small ridge of high pressure, so plenty of bright and sunny weather. Still some fairly gusty winds. They will begin to ease down, and highs tomorrow reaching around 7 Celsius, so a very different feel to today. And then tomorrow evening, we've got a very active front that's going to track eastwards really rapidly. We could see some wintry flurries, a rumble of thunder there. Not much in the way of accumulations, but another cold night with lows down to around freezing. So for Sunday, things start off in much the same way, dry and fairly quiet initially. However, we are now keeping an eye on the next area of low pressure beginning to develop. So likely we're going to start to see some spells of very heavy rain and further really strong winds picking up on Sunday and through the night on Sunday. Here's our area of low pressure, and it's this area of low pressure that's going to dominate the weather Sunday night and into the start of next week as well. So further really unsettled conditions for Monday and for Tuesday. Not quite as disruptive as Storm Aowen, but it's still worth being aware of. Also feeling pretty cold as well. Early signs, something a little bit more settled though later next week. Alistair, back to you.
Thank you very much, Georgie.
Good evening. Well, the tail end of Storm Aowen is going to continue to bring some fairly gusty winds, but it is a quieter picture over the next 24 hours or so. And for the weekend, I think Saturday looks to be the better day as things will gradually begin to turn unsettled once again. Through the day tomorrow then, largely dry, just a risk of some wintry flurries, largely over higher grounds, but plenty of wintry sunshine. The wind's still fairly gusty, but nothing like today, and highs reaching around 7 Celsius. Tomorrow night, fairly quiet. Initially, we've got an occlusion though that could bring further lively wintry showers through the early hours, and then dry initially on Sunday, but low pressure waiting in the wings, bringing further wet and windy weather for Sunday and for the start of next week. Bye-bye.